Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more gut feeling stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. It's one of many, but this one stands out. I'm about 7, my neighbor's 8 and 9, and we're at a bus stop. Guy in stereotypical white van pulls up and asks if we've seen a dog. He doesn't describe the dog, and the truth is, dogs run around in our neighborhood. My mother taught me stranger danger since as long as I can remember. So one of the boys at the stop will call him Paul. Paul describes a dog, and the man in the van is like, "That's my dog. Why don't you get inside the van? We can all look for him." Well, I had red flags going off at this point and said, "No, I have to ask my mother." And as soon as those words left my mouth, he peeled out. It was only later that I realized I saved us all from child abduction, specifically Paul, who was walking towards the van to get in. Paul? Excuse me, Paul? You don't just go into a stranger's van like that, Paul. Paul's parents need to teach him better. Oh my goodness, Paul. I just can't believe it. I bet Paul was taught as a kid, but he was probably taught not to accept candies from strangers. He was not taught to not get in a van when a stranger tells you to get in a van when they're looking for their dog. That's why Paul was like, "Oh, you're looking for your dog? I can help you." Paul, come on now. Was hiking by myself, real smart. I get this feeling that something wasn't right, but I normally act on that feeling. That day, however, I ignored it. Went to a lookout, turned around and headed back. About the same place as I got the feeling, I noticed cougar tracks cross mine in the snow. They followed mine for a few meters, then went to a bit of shrub that overlooked both where I was now and the lookout. I immediately left and avoided going anywhere near something that would give a cougar cover. Occasionally behind me, I would notice a small rustle in the bushes and trees or some snow falling off a disturbed branch. They were above him. Oh hell nah. That's so scary. See, this is why you never ignore your gut feelings, okay? Trust it. An ex of mine baited me into coming over with suicide threats. When I walked in, it was clear he'd had some sort of break. The cupboards had all been drawn on with chalk and paint, and the covers of all of his books has been ripped off and taped to the walls. I brushed it off as something artsy since he was that type of guy. He was acting normal for the first 10 minutes or so. I thought he was depressed. Then he asked if I'd heard the voices of the aliens too. I asked him if he'd stopped taking his meds. He had a history of mental illness, and at the same time started reading the words on the cupboards, "We'll all be free, resist, etc." My stomach flipped and I dialed 911, pretending I was receiving a call from my dad. He proceeded to tell me the aliens had declared we'll be together and be with no one else, that he would free me. He kept talking while I pretended the operator was my dad. The woman got the hint and dispatched police kept me on the phone as long as possible. By the time the police arrived, I'd had to hang up and was stuck in a corner while he raved about how he'd free me. Once they managed to get him out of the apartment, he was taken to a hospital for proper treatment. Occasionally, I get calls from the hospital. I don't answer. She was about to die. He was about to kill her because he wanted to free her. Oh my goodness, that's so scary. Someone being like, "I can free you from all of this," means they literally want to remove you from this earth. Whew, she's so smart for calling 911. She was so smart for that. Last year, around this time, I was waiting for my underground train to show up. It was about 7 a.m. and it was crowded. Next to me was a weird looking guy with a bag that has some wood handles sticking out. He was acting very weird, twitching, moving, sweating. He was very agitated and seemed out of it. I don't know if he had mental health problems or was high on some shit. Either way, I moved from next to him because I could feel my hair stand up in fear. I went next to the stairs. Thank God I did, because next thing I know, someone fell against me and I almost fell on a railway. That creepy guy had a hammer in his bag and started swinging it and hitting people with it, and he hit a woman who was walking behind me in the head. Worst thing is that people who weren't as close didn't even realize it was happening. He hit like 20 people before he was stopped. I'm not sure if anyone died, but he did put someone in a coma. I think that is a big sign. If someone is like twitching, moving, sweating, and he's just, always like this, like this, like this. Yeah, suspicious. Freaking suspicious. This is why you need good situational awareness. Not me, but my best friend was driving to California from Arizona with her 2-year-old for work. And she stopped at a gas station and just got a weird feeling. She normally doesn't lock her car when she pumps gas, but decided to do it. During that process, a woman came up to her and started talking all nice and whatnot. She got an uneasy feeling about it and heard a noise like someone trying to open a door. She turned around and saw the woman's husband trying to get into her car to steal her baby. She told him to get the F away from her car, and that man tried to play it off. She told them to F off and go in her car to leave. The couple got in their vehicle and followed her, tried to swerve her off the road and brake check her on the highway for a few miles. She was smart enough to call the cops. And they caught up to her and ended up arresting the couple. They had gotten multiple reports that day of issues like that. They tried to steal her baby. She's so smart for locking her doors. Yeah. Literally, just lock your doors. Whenever you get out of your car, lock the door. It doesn't matter what you're getting out for, just lock the door. It's better to be safe than sorry. And when you do get in your car, lock the door straight away. You gotta be safe out there now. People are crazy. The fact that they still chased her after trying to do that is insane. Like, they were still trying to get the baby. Hello? Why would you do that? I was 14 and traveling Italy with my dad. We arrived in Florence by train, at the station with our bags and preparing to exit and find a hotel to stay at. Heading out, we are confronted by this dude, very friendly, pleasant-faced and all. He shoves a brochure in my dad's hands and starts in on the utterly fantastico hotel. There are pictures, vague but pleasing, and the price is incredibly cheap, and he has the van here ready to take up right now. My dad was happier than a clam about this, never planning any step before he takes it, and glad to have such a cool opportunity slapped him in the face. I'm listening and getting that cold feeling from my stomach to my neck about this guy. I interject with, I think we'll walk around town a bit and head to the hotel ourselves later. The guy looks at me and shakes his head and tells me we have to go now or the deal is off. That seals it for me. He and my dad even start loading bags into the van. I'm incredulous at this and grab my dad, tell him to listen to me. He almost argues with me. The guy watching us but relents. We pull our bags out and promptly walk away. The guy wouldn't even let us take a brochure with us. No way in F that was legit or going to end well for us. Yep! If the deal is too good to be true, it's too good to be true. He was like, no, you have to go now or the deal is off. Well, why was the deal off? Right? Why does it have to be now? Suspicious. Definitely gonna take them somewhere and then they're gonna rob them or, kidnap them. I was driving on the road one night and I saw a car in the middle of the road with two people lying on the ground. My gut feeling was that something is suspicious here and I decided to act on it by driving past the car and the two people. I stopped to take my phone out and call the police and I look in my rearview mirror to see the two people lying on the road stand up with 5 other people coming out of the bushes. Bye. Yeah, bye. Honestly. I ain't helping. Bye. I'll call the cops for you guys, but I'm gone. It's close to 3 a.m. I'm home alone. Someone starts banging on the front door, just knocking, no words spoken. I ask what they wanted. A man said they wanted to see my landlord, had an arrangement to meet up. He sounded friendly enough. I was about to unlock the door when some common sense came kicking me in the brain. Locked the door so fast, it made it seem like I had a house full of people with me. Turned on the TV, talked to my friend on speaker, blasted music, no kidding. I could hear footsteps surveying the outside of the house and a car engine running outside for a good 15 minutes till the car drove off. When I bring this up with my landlord later, he tells me casually, oh yeah, the house was looted a couple times before. And I didn't tell them. Of course they didn't. That's so scary. This person though. Why would you open the door for a stranger? Even when I know I'm expecting a parcel and the parcel guy's like literally outside, I'm still suspicious. I'm still like, I'll literally wait until they leave and then I go get my parcel. Nobody's risking anything, okay? So scary. It's scary out there. So many people pretend to be someone they're not. This world is getting scarier and scarier. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!